Hi everyone, my name is Deanna and I just recently decided to start this knit and crochet vlogging journey. I've been knitting and crocheting since I was in my teens. I am self-taught. We did not have the great resources that we have now, such as YouTube or the internet back then, so it was a lot of trial and error. I think I've come quite a long way since then, and I hope that you will join me on this journey. A little bit more about me. I am a mom and a grandmother of 3 beautiful grandchildren. I currently reside in the Chicagoland area with my daughter, 2 of my grandchildren, and my daughter's boyfriend. I work part-time from home, so I have plenty of time for all of the yarny goodness, and I get a lot of my inspiration from other YouTubers, projects they're working on, patterns that they're creating, yarn content as far as reviews and purchases and things like that. I am here for all of it. I love it, and I hope that eventually maybe I can inspire some of you. So today I'm just going to keep it a little bit short and sweet. I'll show you a couple of things that I've recently finished and some one whip for right now, which goes to my name, Whips and Chains. Whips as in works in progress, which I believe I am the queen of. I have so many. I don't even want to know how many. Some of them I may end up frogging, but eventually you'll see more of the items that I bounce between. I like to call it crafty ADD, or my attention span. Sometimes I'll just power through and I'm just so hooked on a pattern that I just can't put it down. And then sometimes I'm just like, yeah, let's put that down for a while and then we'll go work on this for a while. So there's a lot of back and forth with a lot of those things. Which I think some of you may be able to relate to. So for one thing that I recently finished, or actually 3 of them, is this hat pattern. I don't have the name of the pattern on off the top of my head, but I will link it in the description box down below. It is a free pattern. It is a crochet pattern. I absolutely loved this pattern. I have a smaller head. My head's only like 21.5 inches. So some of the hat patterns that I've made end up being too loose on me, especially, you know, like yarn after it relaxes, sometimes will start to stretch out a bit and then they get super loose and they want to fall off my head. This pattern, for some reason, just fits beautifully. I absolutely love it. It's slouchy, it's soft, well, that's the yarn, but it's comfy. And then I've got my little pom-pom on there that I got from Amazon, which I will also link down below if I can find it. I bought them quite a while ago, and it was like mixed different colors. But I will show you I'm not going to take this one off because, you know, hat hair. I have made a couple of these, well, 3 actually. This one was done with the Patton's Classic Wool, and I can't remember the color name. I'm trying to see over this. Let me slide a little closer. But yeah, it's got great texture to it. This yarn is super squishy. I absolutely, it's more rustic. It's not super soft, but it is absolutely a delight to wear, to me. This one that I'm wearing, I do have the yarn. I have another skein of this, and it is a beautiful, like, charcoaly color. You can see there is some halo, or maybe that made it worse, I don't know. There is a little bit of a halo to it. It does have some alpaca in it. This is from Audine Wools by Knit Crate. It's called Flannel, and the color is slate. It is 47% Surrey alpaca, 38% alpaca wool, 15% non-superwash merino wool. It is a DK weight, 231 yards, 211 meters, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. It is a hand wash delicate dry flat. custom made in Peru exclusively for Knit Crate. Recommended needle size is a US 5 through 7, 3.75 to 4.5 millimeter. And for crochet hook, US 7 through an I 9, 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter. It is super soft. It is squishy for being like a DK weight. It does have a little squish to it. I love it. I may end up making either a cowl or some fingerless mitts to match this hat. And I think the color is showing up, hopefully pretty true to color. I do have quite a bit of space where I'm at to record, so I'm trying to see, you may see different backgrounds over the next couple of videos. Sorry, I keep looking that way. I'm recording on my phone, so I'm trying to remember to look at the little dot so that I'm not looking off into space. You may see the backgrounds change a little bit until I get into where I think the everything looks the best. As you can see, I still have some Christmas decorations here. I love Christmas and I'm sad it's over and I'm not willing to give in yet, but I have a little crochet snowman, some crochet trees, and then a knit snowman that I also made just before Christmas actually, and they all worked up super easy. If you're interested, leave a comment down below and I can give you the links. The snowman, both of the snowmen, there were patterns. Sorry, I'm looking at them. They were loosely based off of other patterns. I did kind of do my own thing with them, but the trees are definitely from a pattern that I followed. I did make one a little bigger than the other two. They worked up super fast and they're awesome. They actually don't even they don't even need to be stuffed or anything. They just stand fantastically on their own. And I love them. So back to the hat pattern. You start out with the band, the ribbing on the band, which I can't remember if the pattern called for a single crochet in the back loop only, because I made 3. I think the first one I did the slip stitch in the back loop only, and on these two might have been the single crochet in the back loop only. I can't remember. I believe I did the one that I don't have currently with me first. That one is made out of Lion brand Woolies yarn, and that one and this one are a little bit thicker, so they're not quite as slouchy, but I believe I also made them a little shorter because I knew it wouldn't drape like this one did, and I didn't want it like sticking out kind of weird, so they do lay really nicely. But you start with the band, and then you make your band, and they tell you how many inches to make it to according to your head. I can't remember if I mentioned, but I have a smaller head. It's only about 21.5 inches, and I have a problem with hats, especially after the yarn loosens. You know, when you wear it and it stretches a little bit and it loosens up and relaxes, they get sometimes a little bit looser. And some hats, if I bend over or tilt my head back too far, they start to come off, and I don't like that. So this pattern actually fits fantastic, and I fell in love with it, and because of how it fits, and was like, yeah, we need more of these in my life. And I love hats. I have so many different hats, and of course you can't have enough hats when you live in Chicago in the wintertime. So, and like I said, it has this great texture. It starts out, you pick up stitches along the edge of the band, and then it does a couple rounds of the half double crochet in the third loop, and then it has a little bit of this lacy. Let's see if you can kind of see that, the lacy pattern, and then back up to the half double in the third loop, and then I believe that's called, is that the moss stitch? I can never remember the names of the stitches. It's where you do the single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then on the next round you single crochet into the chain one spaces. But yeah, and this is another of the pom-poms that came from Amazon. So again, I'll try to link those below. But yes, I absolutely love, love, love this hat. I may even make more. I'm not sure yet. But the next project that I'm currently working on, I'll show you the wrapper for the yarn first. This is from Yarn Art. Can you see that? Flowers, alpaca. I can't see. It's Yarn Art Flowers Alpaca. And I actually got this from Verlita, I think it's called. They are overseas, but their prices for like the Yarn Art yarn and some other yarns that that are harder to get in the US are phenomenal. You can find this particular one and in the color that I'm using on Amazon, but it is a little pricey on Amazon. So what I did when I ordered it, I waited and placed a bigger order, not huge, but enough so that it made the shipping worth it. Shipping did take quite a while to get to me. I think I just chose the regular shipping. It took several weeks to get to me, but it was definitely worth it. So this yarn, I don't think it has a color number or a color name, but the color number is 418, and it is made in Turkey. It is 20% alpaca and 80% acrylic. It's 250 grams, 8.8 ounces, 940 meters, and 1,027 yards. They classify it as a superfine number 2, but honestly, I think it is more of a DK weight. It's a hand wash, dry flat, do not bleach. Recommended knitting needle sizes are a US 4, 3.5 millimeter. Crochet hook is an E, 3.5 millimeter. I'm not sure if I said hand wash, dry flat, do not bleach. I am currently using an I 5.25 millimeter. This is just the boy hooks, ergonomic kind of handle. I recently got my first couple of furls hooks, and I got one of the resin and one of the Odyssey, and am completely in love. Especially the Odyssey. I really was worried about purchasing that one because I thought it was going to be a little too heavy for me, but I absolutely love it and cannot wait to get more. The ones that I have are a little bit bigger sizes, so I didn't have one to be able to do this project with. And then I also have some resin ones that I've gotten on Amazon that I'll show. Maybe I'll do a little review of those in another video as well. To show you, like, I honestly love them. They're less expensive than the furls ones, but I have not had any problems with any snagging or breaking. I do keep them in a kind of like a hard pencil case type thing, which I purchased on Amazon. I have one that's a little smaller that I can throw in my bags to take with, you know, if I'm crocheting or knitting, or crocheting on the go, so that they, you know, they don't break. And then I have a little bit bigger one that I keep them in if I'm not currently using them. But onto the yarn. So I started this one from the outside because I wanted the lightest color to be at the top of my project. These do have the center pole start tab, which is absolutely amazing. I wish all yarn cakes had that. These are like a tweedy kind of effect where they have part of the previous color going into the next color and on until the very, very darkest center, which you can see is like, or hopefully you can see is like a purplish red, deep purplish reddish color, reddish purple. Maybe that's a way to say it. But it's not the softest yarn I've ever felt. It does have a small alpaca content in it. I'm hoping after it gets washed and blacked, maybe it'll soften up a little bit more. But I mean, honestly, it does not bother me at all. It's, like I said, not the softest, but I personally could wear it up against my skin with no problem. I don't really have a problem with wools. I have some very rustic wools that I have as sweaters that I can wear with nothing underneath if I wanted to. I typically wear a t-shirt underneath most of my hand knit sweaters anyway. But if I didn't want to because it was going to be too warm or something, I don't have really super sensitive skin. So for me personally, this would not bother me up against my skin. But let me scoot back again. So this, and I don't have the pattern for this one, either the name or the designer, but again, I will link it. It is another free pattern available online. I'm trying to see which is the front and which is the back. This is the front, I think. So this, let me go back here. This is what I have so far. It is a triangular shaped shawl, and you can see so far this was designed, I believe, for a fingering weight yarn, but I wanted something a little thicker, a little heavier. We're starting to get into our coldest months here for Chicago. Usually January, February, it gets really cold, so I wanted something that I can really snuggle up in. And I typically wear my shawls kind of like this, although it'll be longer and come down longer. I like to wear them nice and snug up against me. It's just so far is showing the color changes beautifully with this pattern. It is like a kind of like a gradient. I'm going to show you up close. So it's basically just mostly double crochets. You do some triple crochets, but not very many. And then you do, I think this is the split, I don't know if they called it a split popcorn that you do, and then you put these into three double crochets. Oh, you know what? This first row they did 5, that's right. But later on it goes to like three double crochets that you put in between the split popcorn stitch, I believe it's called. And then it has a couple of rows of just double crochet, and then 2 rows of single crochet, and then back into, it's a repeating pattern. It is super easy to memorize. At first it seems a little confusing, but once you get going, it is awesome. And you can see the little fuzz and the halo on the yarn. That doesn't bother me at all, but if you have an issue with working with alpaca or fuzzy yarns, this yarn may not be the one for you. Also, this yarn, like I said, isn't super soft, but I think it will soften up a bit more, especially after it's washed and blocked. But really for shawls, you can use just about really any yarn, any size weight yarn for just about any shawl pattern. Typically you want to go up with a bigger crochet hook than what it calls for if you want like a nice drapey. So like this one is a little drapey, but it's not like super drapey, which is fine because that's not what I wanted this one for. I wanted this one for all the warmth and the goodness and things like that. But yeah, this is where I am so far. So, and I just started this maybe 2 nights ago. But because it is such a easy repeating pattern, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. Again, I will link it down below. So that is about it for this video. I'm not sure yet how often I will be recording, because I live with my family. Sometimes, you know, the grandkids are down here or they're home upstairs, and we do have a dog too, so I'm kind of working around all of them at the moment, but I'm hoping to get at least 1 video per week up, maybe eventually 2 videos a week or more, depending on how many subscribers we get. We will maybe do some lives. I've never done that before, so that will be an interesting thing, but I love watching other live from other channels, so hopefully hopefully you like what you see so far, and if you have, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and then hit the little notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. That is it for now. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you soon.